Counting down. And here we are. Here we are.
Here we are.
Yay. So it's so good to be with you. I love it that we made this happen.
Thank you so much.
I know one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you today and have this time is because I know from years of amazing experience of sharing with you that every year at least you do yoga teacher training, and one's coming up in July. And can you say what the
That's
dates
right.
are?
Yeah, it's July 22nd through July 30th. And it's
And
amazing.
it is totally a big reason why I wanted to talk to you about it and let people know, because since I've gotten to be a part of it so much over the years, I know how amazing it is. Also, my program that I have coming up called starting on the 18th, but is totally different, supporting people with the koshas, or the 5 different ways of integrating with their systems, for working with nutrition, some exercises that they can add into anything they're doing with what you do. That's also beneficial and just supportive. But you're also going to be teaching in my program, teaching in yours, where it's overlapping with the topics of yoga therapy and sound. And for that reason, I thought that, because there's still a lot of people, I think, that are surprised sound into yoga, other than sound healing, tuning forks or bowls, but actually into how they work with their yoga asana and their practices.
True. True. Yeah. I'm actually excited. I have to say, I'm excited about your program that you're doing. Uh, you're giving people the magnets where they can do their own acupressure points and things. Her program looks amazing. So do take a look at her program that's coming up. What's the name of it again, Terra?
Reset and on the 18th of July. So yeah, and so the things that they'll have with them, things like the acutherapy magnets at home, and even the analysis kits and things, are designed to help them with how to fine tune their nutrition and the way they're relating to food, but also gives them at the beginning and the end ways to gauge their progress of the changes they've made in their body biochemically, and then also working with the kinds of practices that you and I love to work with people. Whereas mine is more of like a reset and renew, literally called reset and renew, for getting people to kind of reintegrate themselves and have a kind of renewal. Your program is really also geared at that kind of thing, at a level of being a teacher, right? So where you're taking yoga and training people to be professionals out in the world and working with the voice, yeah, and the postures, yeah.
Yeah. Well, really, in a way, my program is a reset and renew, because what I've discovered is most of us have lost the voice that we had when we were little babies and toddlers. That was a voice that was so core connected. We could yell for hours, scream for hours. We never had any sort of problems with our throat. You don't see hoarse toddlers. They can just make sound, and their whole body actually embodies the sound. And what we have discovered is that when kids start school, they tend to start to withhold their breath and withhold their voice. And the voice often starts to get really shallow. And I was working with a 9-year old, and I could not get her to take a deep breath in her belly because her breath was so locked up. And because of that, the voice is affected, because the voice is actually breath. It's
Mm-hmm.
breath that turns into what I like to call sound colored air. It turns into sound waves, but it's still breath. And our whole body should be filled with sound. A lot of people love to go to sound baths and things of that nature now to feel the vibration of sound, but we carry around the best sound bath with us all day long. It's our own voice, and that voice can go in all the way into every nook and cranny of your body and vibrate your body. And something I have a lot of people do sometimes, Tara, is I have them put their hand on the back of their neck. Let's all try that, and just have them hum. and you will feel vibration in your spine. And people don't know that all the bones of the body can vibrate. And this is, I really feel, a way to renew our body and our cells to vibrant health, right? So sounding is really important. We do know that when we do sounding and humming, that the sinuses actually produce nitric oxide, which is the chemical within the body that strengthens and supports the immune system. So just humming, we're creating beautiful uh, things, vibrations, as well as gases. And then we also know that when we make sound, endorphins are released in the brain because the what are called the olfactory bulbs, they get highlighted when we sing. Sound goes up into the top of the head. And the nerves from the olfactory bulbs are the shortest nerves through the ethmoid skull to the feel good centers of your brain. So if you are having a blue day, I actually was having a blue day this last week. I put on my Instagram, sing even if you don't feel like it, because the singing will reverse any sort of sadness or depression. It was my brother who just recently died's birthday. So, of course, I felt blue and I just made myself sing. I feel everybody should have a happy song that they sing. Mine is Get Your Coat and Get Your Hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. That's my happy song. I just sing that much. If you go around singing your happy song, it actually changes your brain. It changes the brain, and you will feel better. And then when you feel better, you'll breathe deeper. And then if we can just get people starting to become what I like to call now, I have a new idea that we are all gongs. We're really gongs. And if we just learn how to play the gong that we are, we will vibrate fully and we won't need gongs, external gongs. So my work is basically the idea of taking embodying voice and moving it into all these different parts of the body and finding places where maybe the voice doesn't go and why isn't it going there? Why is there no movement or breath or vibration in that part of the body? Why does someone feel a certain part of their body dead, right? It just feels they're just not connected to it. It feels like it's dead, it's numb. What's going on there, right? And we can get
Well,
some breath
I
and
will say,
vibration in there.
yeah, I will say every class I teach these days, because I still teach live big group classes, and in every one of those classes, I'm still bringing in sound in certain moments, especially after I've been able to get people into a pose for a while, and if they're breathing into it, when we're getting to the point where we want to take it to another level of release, we start working with the tone and the frequencies because that's what really provides more release. I find that breath alone doesn't offer it to the same degree that sounding can, but I find it's most useful to not always start with the sound, to kind of get really in touch with the body as a container through breath,
Yeah,
right? And then to be working more through the nose and feeling and sensing that containment. Then once you've got that, then you can really work with the sound to spread through that container.
absolutely. And I have to give a shout out to Fitzmaurice Voice Work because I'm also a Fitzmaurice teacher. And what I love about Fitzmaurice Voice Work is that what they do is they go from breath into just what we call fluffy sound, just a sigh that's
Mhm.
completely core connected. So
Mhm.
just getting people just to sigh, and people don't like anybody to hear their sigh. That's always really interesting to me. You know, when you teach a class and you say, okay, everybody, just let a sigh out. Some people won't do it. It's like, oh my God.
I would say most people these days do in my classes though. I tell them at the beginning, this is going to be a little unusual for a lot of you if you haven't done this. We bring sound into how we work with our asanas and yoga practices, and so occasionally add sound to this. So they're
That's
kind of
awesome.
prepped for it, and because they're prepped for it, they kind of go, "Whoa!" Like I'm trying it on like a I don't know. I feel like I feel I'm on a roller coaster all of a sudden because I'm actually feeling all this energy now from hearing my voice
Absolutely.
is so powerful in feeling the frequency in our sound, but
Yeah.
also hearing it in the room and knowing other people are hearing you is a big deal, right?
It is a big deal. Yeah. It's allowing yourself to have a vulnerability.
Yeah.
Uh, and we really all connect to each other through our vulnerability. So it's a beautiful thing. And after that first sigh, like the first sigh may be scary for some people, but then before you know it, they're doing another sigh, and then they want to add a little more sound to the sigh, and
Mhm.
then they want to start maybe sliding around with their voice, and uh, and then they're having so much fun, they can't believe it. It's true,
Yeah.
because I'm sure people leave your classes just feeling very different than when they walked in.
I know they do, and they say they do. And I can say for my own personal practices, it's really different when I actually get to take the time to work with sound. In fact, and you mentioned the importance of picking a song that's a positive one that's joyful. I sometimes will not feel joyful when I start, and I might purposely make sounds that are more of a grunt or a bit moody. And that's a great place to start. But I definitely have the intention of ending in joy, right? Just to
Yeah, yeah.
kind of enhance that since it's enjoyable.
Yeah, and a lot of emotion gets stuck within the body, and sounding really, I feel like it just cleans me out.
Yeah.
So I like to do, if I start to feel my throat chakra getting tight, usually the throat chakra will tighten under stress because the vocal cords, their first job is really to work as a seal to protect you from any sort of dangerous thing to go in your windpipes. But we also know it reacts emotionally. So sometimes the throat area can start to feel tight. And what it's doing is it actually helps numb you to hold you back from going into your heart. But what I've been working a lot with now is really learning to soften the throat chakra. And I teach a class for Santa Monica College, which is actually called Vocal Yoga Free Your Throat Chakra, which I love it that I'm doing that. And we learn to soften the throat chakra so we actually go into the heart. And then there's such a shift in the body. And if you go into the heart, there's emotions and feelings, grunt them out, just get them moving, get them out, right? Motion is energy in motion. Get it moving. So sounding is amazing for that. I really think every day everybody should do lion's pose and make sound, right? Where you look up, ah, and as you do that, the fascia of your tongue actually comes down and attaches to your diaphragm, comes down, attaches to the psoas muscle, goes down your legs and attaches to your big toe. So when you do that every day, you are freeing a whole fascia line, a whole part of your body. And some people, the first time they do that, explode with laughter. Some people, like maybe some tears may come. But every day, I think that we need to do that, especially women, because in society, I feel our voices have been held back a lot. And I am really, really into empowering women. I think it is so important. Men know how to use their voices as tools to intimidate, to speak over people, and what can
Or like a
happen is
dog.
the woman will all of a sudden
The ocean
go
knows how
into
to use
a
his
voice
voice.
where they're like ah, a weak kind of voice. But if you can connect your core and speak up with your own voice, it's very interesting what happens. I find out there in the world, nobody can bully you.
I know too,
Because if you,
part of why I'm going to be offering the program I'm running, Reset and Renew. I know it's also in line with some of the principles of why you offer what you offer, which is that when we work with different ways of healing and fine tuning ourselves, right? Whether it be through the voice, or when we're working with ourselves, we might come from a moment of insecurity or be feeling low or down. But when you add the voice to something, the vocal work, you can tell it's a marker for knowing if you've made a change. I would say it's a true
Mhm,
marker because you can definitely tell, like you said, authentic tone from one
mhm,
that's less connected in your body. And that's a mirror of what's happening in our nervous systems and a mirror of what's actually happening internally, emotionally, right? So it
yes,
becomes a mechanism for gauging whether we're feeling in line or in harmony in our lives.
completely, completely. I actually had a professor at the psychology department of UCLA ask me if I were to watch videos of all these different patients that she has, would I be able to tell who had trauma in their life through their listening to their voices? And the question was absolutely,
Of course.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
The voice is such a mirror into the emotional, spiritual, physical aspects of the body, mental aspects of the body. It's a complete mirror.
Hmm. Yeah. And so I know in your program too, I want to say that it's a very different program because that's why I felt like we could overlap them to some degree. And the program that you're doing, my experience is it is a very amazing deep dive into understanding how the voice works and how the body works with frequencies and how to literally take those skills out as being someone that healing experiences or teaching experiences out in the world and add this element into it in a very powerful way. Distinction about that because if people go to your website, they're going to see how it's mapped out. It's offering. It's also very scientifically based with some incredible
Yes.
different people involved sharing their pieces. In the program that I'm offering, I would say it's compatible but different. Your piece that you'll offer piece around the voice and the frequency work, but a really essential one. So I'm grateful you'll be in it as a guest. But I want to urge people to definitely study with you specifically for around this stuff with frequency and voice in an immersive way and take it into
Yes.
the, yeah. And then with what they're doing with me, we're doing the things that I find are often missing in teacher trainings, especially the yoga teacher trainings, getting into the biochemistry of our lives, right? The nutritional side of how to balance ourselves and how to integrate work with the voice and meditation and sleep habits and practices in ways that are going to bring it all in a way that's sustainable, right? So it's a different kind of
Right.
thing, and some people may not want to go totally into voice work and become a teacher of those kind of things. Other people might be looking for a different angle. So that's
Mhm.
why it's great to look at both of our programs and see what we're offering and how they're compatible and different. So if people wanted to
Exactly.
find you, if they want to find you and learn more about what you're offering, where do they go to?
They go to vocalyoga.com. Pretty easy, vocal yoga. I have a book out called Vocal Yoga, available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, the Drama Bookstore in New York, if you are an actor. I have CDs. Actually, I'm not selling CDs because nobody, well, people are starting to get CDs again, but players again. But I have singing exercises and breathing exercises, and I'm very proud of both of those
And
pieces of work that
I
that
have
are
to
digital
say,
downloads.
I have to
So,
say
and
that all the ones that, yeah, downloadable versions, however people like to do it, I have used those exercises so much in my life, and I'm so appreciative to you for having created the book and the CDs because they're so useful and great to go back to again and again. So I hope anybody that's interested in even learning some simple practical exercises are going to seek that out from you on your website. And then if they're interested in the program, what I'm doing and how it relates to the biochemistry of the body, and the other pieces that are being offered this summer, you go to Terra Wellness, TERRA wellness.com/reset. So it's /reset for the reset program. And yeah, I'm just curious, is there anything more you want to add and say about
Oh, what
everything
would
tonight?
oh, for mine, if you go to my, I have a lot of pages and on my website, and I have a lot of exercises that you can try that are right off of the website. So that's fun to go and explore. And then just you'll see under programs, I've got my teacher certification. Every other year, I take a group to Oroville, India, and that's an amazing trip where we do. It's a sound healing journey to India, and it's quite wonderful. We go down to the south to Tamil Nadu, and I don't really have a whole lot more to say, but I hope that you guys join us at some point. You know, as I said, I have a lot of classes I teach. I teach some through Santa Monica College that are low cost and available to everyone. That's why I teach them. I want anybody who wants to explore their voice to be able to. Whether it's singing, I have a singing class through Santa Monica College. I also have my Open Your Throat Chakra class, which is at the Malibu campus of Santa Monica. I have a private studio where I do one-on-one trainings. I know, Tara, you have a private studio where you do acupuncture and healing and nutrition and all of
Yeah,
these
it's an
amazing things.
integrative medicine center. It's a clinic actually, in my office space
Okay.
in Santa Barbara. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, people find me here, and I think both of us work on Zoom too, when we're
Yes.
working with people that live in other places. But I can't say enough
Absolutely.
for what it's like to immerse in working with you and I together when we get to personally, and I hope that people
And
can
for
look
me
at our
too.
program. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me too. Tara and I, we just really blend together when we work. It's such a beautiful experience. And I come with my sound knowledge. She comes with her yoga knowledge. We put it together. We'll do certain asanas with sounding. Like many of you may not know that tight hips affect your voice. So we'll move into the hips and loosen them up and add sound. And so whether you're a yoga teacher, or a singing teacher, a sound healer, or just someone who wants to explore and improve their voice and explore the idea of sound healing as well, our class is perfect for you. The vocal yoga teacher certification. You don't have to plan on being a teacher, although many people are. Many yoga teachers are now incorporating my work and having a blast.
Mhm.
So thank you so much, Tara.
Thank
This has
you.
been great.
Thank
Been
you,
great
Heather.
to get to
It's always good
hang
to see
out.
you.
I
All
know,
right.
even if it's just us zooming together.
All right. Well, lots, buddy, and please keep it into our websites if you want to learn more of what we're offering that's coming up, and closing for entrance on July 9th. So if anyone's interested,
Okay.
take a look. We're closing the doors on July 9th coming. And
Yep.
like you said, it's coming up here for you in a few weeks too with your program.
Mine is going to be closing on July 12th. So hurry up and sign up.
All right.
We want to see you all. We want to help you all. Lots of love.
And with one final little vocalization.
Yeah. What do you think you want to do?
Oh, just a quick exercise, something that you mentioned how you do rolling. And I will say too that even that is such a powerful one.
I think we should do whoops and poos.
Okay.
So you're going to, and this is actually a therapeutic voice exercise. You're going to start really low with a whoop. The wha will engage your abdominal core, which you want to engage the core, and then the poo actually helps you hit a high note. It spits out the note, and this stretches your vocal cords. So everybody get your breath to drop to your belly. It may take a couple breaths, so if you need help getting your belly to release. Put your hands in Chin Mudra. Get the breath to dock. And here we go. We're going to go whoop, whoa. Slide, yeah. Whoa. Go higher and higher. Whoa. Higher. Whoa. And that's an exercise I can do all day. It's one of my standard exercises because it stretches your vocal cords and it feels delicious.
It
feels
does.
delicious.
I can't help but laugh at the end. You know, I can't. Somebody do that, which is so great. You know, when I do things like that in the yoga class now with people, you know, they just go, "What are we doing?" You know, which is great. You know,
Yeah.
we're never too old. Never.
Exactly. And you could even sense doing that through the spine and come out your crown chakra. So it's really, really nice for that. If you just do some woof, 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 almost like a dog going woof, 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 woof. Actually, everybody, let's do a couple dog barks. Woof, 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 woof. You'll feel your abdominal muscles, which is the power source of the voice, engage. Woof, 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 woof. And I use a lot of animal sounds now because we hold so much tension here. A lot of people can't release their belly or engage this area. So if we start with a sound that automatically, naturally engages the core, then often they can release their abs afterwards. So I like to do dogs, woof, 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 woof. And then you can go into sound, woof, what, woof, what, woof, what, woof, what. And then you speak from there. Woof, what, where, why, when, why, where, when. And that's your authentic voice. A core connected voice is your authentic speaking voice. And then the singing, woof, woof, where, why, when. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is the same thing. It's just an extension with the breath.
Singing, you know, to do that before you're about to give a presentation, to do that before you're about to talk in front of a group. It's an incredible, easy, simple, quick way to get you core engaged, authentically connected with your voice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, so you will feel completely silly, and that's okay. Play with some dog barks. Woof, woof, woof. I like chickens. Bark, 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 bark. Your belly will be moving like crazy. Bark, 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 bark. Some monkeys. Seals. And you can go on and on and on.
Yeah. It's fun.
I think
it's
I'm
fun.
going to write I'm going to write a paper on singing with animal sounds.
Oh, that's perfect.
Or speaking.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tune out for today and just say thank you again for being able to share time.
Thank you so much.
One more time for anybody, if you go to vocalyoga.com for Heather for her programs and .com/reset for the program that's coming up here soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. I miss you all, and I love all of you, my students, so much.
So good to be with you, Heather. Bye for now.
Thanks, everybody. I miss you all, and I love all of you so much. Are we still on?